must acknowledge that it is an honor and indeed a great pleasure for me to have the privilege to inaugurate this edifice, the tower block of the State House complex, into the service of the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Constructed 5 decades ago to serve as a venue of the 1965 Organization of African Unity Conference, as young children then and successors of the ideas and principles of the founder of our nation, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, I feel particularly honored as president to be the one to recommission this refurbished tower block to serve as offices for members of parliament. This beautiful edifice was built by the now defunct State Construction Corporation, and Job 600, by which it became popularly known, was the 600th project being undertaken by the then active and efficient state enterprise. This building, at the time of its construction, stood as a veritable example of what Ghanaians could achieve. Having been constructed by a wholly owned and managed Ghanaian enterprise, it represented a great sense of national pride for us. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah faced very scathing criticism for this and other projects that were branded ostentatious and constructed only to satisfy his grandiose ambitions as president. Subsequently, the building was occupied by numerous agencies and departments of government that had neither the mandate nor the funds to keep the building maintained. It was therefore not surprising that over the following decades, the building was subject to neglect and experienced rapid deterioration. Offering a conducive and enabling environment for members of parliament to work, therefore, is to empower this important arm of government to work effectively in our collective interest. It is against this background that it gives me great satisfaction that finally our quest to provide our long-suffering MPs, my former colleagues, with modern offices has been realized. Like the proverbial phoenix, Job 600 has risen from the ashes and stands ready to serve a critical national need. This lends credit to the foresight of our first president, Osagyefo, whose vision in investing in such infrastructure has continued to serve our dear nation Ghana, even almost half a century since he was overthrown. The total transformation of Job 600 from a decrepit, abandoned white elephant into a modern, glistening office complex for the Parliament of Ghana must fill all of us with a great sense of accomplishment. I spent 12 long years in this parliament representing the people of Bole Bamboy, and I experienced at first hand the almost impossible conditions under which MPs carried out their work. The total lack of office space severely impeded us in discharging our duties to our people, and we had to use the trunks of our cars as makeshift offices. Also, as a member of the Pan-African Parliament, together with my friend, the Right Honorable Speaker, it was a very disconcerting experience for us to be installed in modern plush offices for 3 weeks of the year when we attended the Pan-African Parliament in Midrand, South Africa, only to return to our home parliament and be officeless. The completion of this project means that the difficulties that my colleagues and I had to endure in carrying out our responsibilities shall no longer be the portion of the current crop of MPs and their successors. And for those who have remained in the House since 1992 and 1996, and those who have come after us, they would finally have offices befitting of their status and their responsibilities. The edifice has comfortable office accommodation for all MPs with secretariats. It has committee rooms, meeting rooms, a modern library with research and information systems division. It has a gymnasium. It has an auditorium, post office. It has prayer rooms for both Christians and Muslims. It has a kitchen and dining area, restaurant, a banking hall, and a clinic. Job 600 has undergone a complete refitting, total refitting of the tower block, modifications to enhance the functionality and aesthetics of the building, offices for ancillary staff. It also has modern electronic and information technology systems and has effective security surveillance and CCTV cameras. And as the gentleman said, the CCTV cameras are not in the offices of the MP, so you can rest assured that Big Brother is not watching you. Today's inauguration goes as a credit to all the presidents of the Fourth Republic. President Jerry John Rawlings, President John Agyekum Kufuor, and Professor John Evans Atta Mills of blessed memory, all of whom in conceptualizing and commencing the execution of this project demonstrated their commitment to the consolidation of parliamentary democracy in Ghana. Let me also acknowledge the efforts and contribution of Mr. Speaker and all your predecessors towards the completion of this project. The Right Honorable Justice D.F. Annan of blessed memory, the Right Honorable Peter Ala Ajete of blessed memory, the Right Honorable Ebenezer Bejina Sechi Hughes, and the Right Honorable Joyce Adelaine Bamford Addo, yourself, the Right Honorable Edward Kobli Do Ajaho. It is your collective work that has brought us here today. I wish also to salute all ministers of water resources, works and housing in the Fourth Republic and the leadership, all members of the leadership of Parliament of the Fourth Republic, too numerous to mention, for your contribution in bringing us to this stage. Let me also use the opportunity to commend the financing institutions and the contractors and consultants whose work has made today's commissioning possible. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, the occasion of the inauguration of the Job 600 office complex should provide another opportunity to examine our approach to national discourse. There is often the echo of cynicism that greets investments in projects of a transformational nature. Many times, a spirited effort is made to bastardize these projects for political reasons. At other times, to retool or modernize the work environment for public agencies is construed to mean an attempt at creating lavish comfort for public officers. And in saying this, I address both sides of the House. I'm a firm believer in the need for modesty and prudence in the management of public finances. I also firmly uphold the overriding need to protect the public purse from abuse and the need to stamp out opulence and ostentation. There's a need for us to disavow the kind of politics that relies on distortion and the peddling of misleading claims about the intentions of government when it has become necessary to execute large-scale projects like this one, as in the case of Job 600. Sometimes even projects whose economic value and benefits to our country are so obvious have lately become the subject of unnecessary litigation to obstruct them. We must always act in the best interest of our people, in whose name and at whose pleasure we serve. Let us not allow partisanship and perceived short-term political gain to make us lose sight of the collective benefits that we stand to derive from such investments. For those of us who also find ourselves in public office and whose work will be enhanced by the improvement of these investments will bring, we have a responsibility towards our people to treat them with dignity and respect. Members of the public calling at such government facilities for service are often treated with scorn and disdain. We need at all times to remember and bear in mind that it is with the resources of the public through the taxes they pay that government is able to provide the facilities that we make use of. And that is why we have the public services of Ghana. And that is why we who work in the public services are called public servants. We are servants of the public. We serve at their pleasure. Unfortunately, many who find themselves in public positions of responsibility have got this completely wrong. We feel we are masters of the public and often consider them an irritant. No, they are not. We must justify the investments made in this modern office complex and other facilities placed at our disposal by working even harder to execute the mandate given to us by the Constitution of the Republic. It is said in the Holy Book, to whom much is given, much is expected. The people of Ghana, and for that matter, all meaningful Democrats, expect that with this great investment made in this facility, it will, as inferred by the Honorable Minority Leader, catalyze the work of the House. I'm therefore urging Parliament, as the embodiment of the social, economic, and political diversity of the people of Ghana, to help establish the norms and values which underpin a democratic culture that shapes the people's expectations and attitudes towards the practice of a modern democracy in Ghana. Government will continue to make further investments in a bid to introduce greater efficiency in the way that state institutions discharge their responsibilities. And we shall continue to count on you to ensure adequate maintenance of this beautiful facility. On this note, the Right Honorable Speaker, members of Parliament, distinguished invited guests, it is my honor and privilege to now declare the State House Tower Block, popularly referred to as Job 600, duly inaugurated. I thank you.